So I went to Chick-fil-A the other day to get the pinnacle of all combos. A 12-count nugget meal with a large fry, a medium root beer with 1 Chick-fil-A and 2 honey mustard sauces, except they didn't have any root beer. So as I'm standing there looking to see if they have anything that could fill the void in my heart left by the root beer, I see that they have Coca-Cola, Diet Coke, and Coke Zero. Oh, come on! They had room for 3 Coca-Colas, but not enough room for 1 root beer. Why? Really, why? Why do you even exist? Coca-Cola already has a Coke with 0 sugar. Why are you here? Well, it turns out Coke Zero isn't actually the outlier of the family. It's this one. If you've ever tried Diet Coke, you'll know it tastes different. And by different, I mean good. So now that I've got all the Coke heads trying to find my address, just ask your mom, she'll know. Let's find out why Coke has 2 diets. The story began back in 1963, when excessive sugar began being linked more and more to turning people into bowling balls. So to ride this wave, Coca-Cola released their diet drink. Tab. Wait, what? Yeah, for some reason Coca-Cola had a problem with slapping diet before the name of their flagship fizzy beverage. So instead they decided to develop and release a whole new drink. Tab. And while it tasted similar to Coca-Cola, it was technically a whole new formula. Pepsi, on the other hand, realizing branding is actually important, released Diet Pepsi the very next year to immediate success. So as Tab fell behind in the war for healthy, they finally caved and decided to try slapping Diet before the Coca-Cola. Except they already had a drink that kind of tasted like a diet version of Coca-Cola. So they just took the Tab formula and in 1982 released Diet Coke. Wait, what? Wait, so that means you're not even Coke. This isn't Coke. This is Tab. This, of course, helped with sales, as branding is actually important, and it was a lesson Coca-Cola would never forget. Right? Right? Although because Diet Coke was technically a completely different formula, it left it tasting, what's the word? Oh right, better. But in 2005, after a drop in sales for no particular reason, Coca-Cola needed to revitalize their brand and realized they technically didn't have a Diet Coke. They had Tab 2. So 40 years after first imagining a diet version of their medicine-mimicking monstrosity, they released the true Diet Coke, Coke Zero, and, well, now Coke Zero Sugar. This time making sure to keep the formula as close and as cough syrupy tasting to the original as possible. But now we come to the problem. You see, when Coke Zero came out, Diet Coke was still one of Coke's best-selling products, despite the fact that it technically wasn't even Coke. Given the fact that they just had a debacle with slapping a number 2 in front of something, I doubt they were going to call this Diet Coke 2. So, instead, they decided to just keep Diet Coke around, despite it not being Coke, kept it called Diet Coke, and just released that as Coke Zero. Thus leading to the debacle we have today, where we technically have 2 completely different Diet Cokes. So I guess the lesson of this story is Coca-Cola has no idea how to do branding, and I'll see y'all tomorrow.